My mom always used to tell me that I was beautiful no matter what. But being a 300-pound girl, I never believed her. The first thing was because I was 300 pounds. And I felt that my mother was lying to me because she was my mother. And the second was that I had completely no friends. Like, I was a loner. And I felt as if I wasn't supposed to exist, that I was a mistake, that there was no reason for me being there. But I'm so glad that I never did anything dramatic and ended my life, because my childhood really dictated how I wanted my future, how I want my future to turn out. You know, as I was saying, being a 300-pound girl, I did not have a lot of friends. I went through bullying stages. A lot of people picked on me. My sister and my father even picked on me. So, with my mom, with me being a mom's girl, it really just didn't register that my mom was only trying to protect me. She wasn't trying to tell me the truth that I needed to hear. Um, it would even come to the point sometimes where I would try and bribe people to be my friends in a way that it would be like I would bring candy and food to school, because middle schoolers love candy. So I'd bring candy and food, and I would have so many friends that day. But at the end of the day, nobody would know my name. Nobody would know who I was or how I was feeling. It was just, oh, that girl right there, she has candy and stuff, so let's go get it from her. And there was no purpose in my life. Like, I didn't know what to do until I met her. Gabrielle Johnson, to be exact. Now, Gabrielle was nowhere close to my age. She was my neighbor's child. She was my neighbor's 2-month-old child. And that little girl loved me with all her heart for who I was, for what I looked like. And she was just the biggest thing in my life. She always knew when there was something wrong. She always knew when I had a bad day. And she would just do the simplest thing, but it would affect me so much. She would take her hand and she would place it to my cheek, and she'd smile as if that was her way of telling me that everything was going to be okay, that it didn't matter what was going on in my life, I was still going to be okay, and that she would love me. And I practically was there for her for the first 4 years of her life. I was always there. I practically took a part with her parents in raising her. She was probably at my house every weekend, but later on, around the age of 4 or 5, she died due to a brain tumor. That really hurt. Like, I went through a really depressing period where I didn't know what to do with myself, because I had lost one of the people that really showed me love outside my family for who I was. So Gabrielle was the reason I fell in love with kids, and the idea of always being there for them, whether I was wiping away their tears or playing with them. Gabrielle was the reason why I never wanted a brain tumor or something dramatic to hurt a child ever again. So my first real job was at a daycare, and I loved it. My manager said I was one of her best workers. They had this nickname for me called the Crier. And I was called the Crier because if there was any baby that any of the workers could not get to stop crying, they would call me or they would give the baby to me. And just like that, the baby would stop crying. And nobody knew what I did. I didn't even know what I did half the time. My mom used to always joke around and say, I used to put a magic, I used to put spells on the kids. I mean, I never saw it, but I don't know. I just felt. But now, as I mature and I get older, I see it as like a gift from God, and He's just directing me down this path of childhood and being what I want to be. He's just ensuring me that this is what I need to do for my future, so He's gonna make it easy for me. Then me and my sister have always been kind of up and down because we've been 5 years apart. And she was a daddy's girl and I was a mommy's girl. So we would always clash. But she had a son named Darius. She currently has 2 kids, but at this time she had a son named Darius. And he was born around my birthday. And he has been the best nephew that a could ever ask for. I love him with all my heart. I took part in raising him when he was a baby, and he would be up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I was one of the people that would be up with him. When he needed to go to the emergency room, I was right there with him, just waiting to make sure he was okay with his 100 and something fever. All of these experiences that I've had with children have just prepared me and ensured me that what I want to do with my future is what I need to do. Because ever since I was 8 years old, ever since I was 8 years old and didn't even know the word, didn't know how to say it, didn't know how to spell it, I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I want to be a children's doctor. My mom was like, that's a pediatrician, Kiana. I was like, well, I want to be a pediatrician. And she would tell me how to spell it and tell me how to write it down, but I'd always forget. But I knew. I was like, I want to be a children's doctor. I want to help kids. And she would be like, why do you want to help kids, Kiana? And I'd always look her in her eyes and I'd say, because I don't want anyone to ever hurt like Gabby did. So my mom would smile and say, I think that's great. But after becoming a pediatrician, for a while, I want to open up my very own clinic, similar to the size of like a children's hospital. Like I've always had it laid out, the building structure and everything. I want to have like a medicine, a pharmacy, and patient rooms, radiology, and so forth. Like it's going to be a lot of different centers in one place so that the parents don't have to drive different places for their child. And I really just want to make Gabriella proud because, I mean, I know she was a child, but Gabriella meant a lot to me. And I just want to show her that I'm trying not to have any kid ever go through the pain that she went through. Because if I could have stopped her going through that pain, I would have. I just want to leave an example to all the kids here so that they know that it doesn't matter where you start in life. It just depends on where you finish. So I went from being a 300-pound girl that was hated by every person in her middle school to a person with so high expectations for themselves in the future because of one little girl, because of Gabriella. And Gabriella, and I just don't want to let her down. Like, I'm going to achieve this goal no matter what. I'm not going to quit on this goal. This goal is not going to go away. I'm not going to modify it. This is exactly what I want to do with my life. And definitely needs, I just need to do it. Because if I don't, I feel like I'll be letting Gabby down more than letting myself down. And that would kill me inside. But it's funny how one child can change a person's life. I was about 8 to 9 years old when I met Gabby, and she has been the most impacting person in my life. She's probably one of the strongest people I ever met, because even when she died, she was still smiling, still playing around. She was just a ball of sunshine, and I just hope that I radiate the love and the playfulness that she always had. There's not a day that goes by that Gabrielle is not on my mind. So I just hope that people will just pay attention to the kids around them, because one may be waiting to change your life. One may be waiting to change you, like Gabriella changed me.